Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you in it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys, Joe, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
It's the holiday season, and there's no better time to jump into the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Whether you're betting the NFL, getting in on the college football playoff matchups, or checking out the NBA's Christmas slate, FanDuel's got holiday promos and boosts that will keep every game exciting all month long. From same-game parlays to player props and live in-game betting, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action with fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Gardner Minshew sidearm throw. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend, plus JD's 10 keys to victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can continue to find wins with the remaining games left. So, while you're unwrapping gifts and watching wall-to-wall football, make sure you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap, shot, and score count this holiday season. Attention all sports bettors. Big news, Chiefs Kingdom. Sports betting is finally going live in Missouri on December 1st. So we've partnered with bookies.com to bring you all the best sportsbook promos and sign-up offers in one place. Head over to bookies.com/chiefconcerns. The link is in the description below to check out all the offers from the top sports books in your area and pre-register today. You can lock in those bonuses now, even before betting officially starts on December 1st. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, your post-game show, the Week 17 post-game show. And let me first just say Merry Christmas to all the Chief fans out there and all of our Chief Concerns followers and subscribers. You guys have been great all year long, and you guys got great in general. I know it's been a tough year, but it's still nice to have you guys. Former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn should be joining us shortly, but I just wanted to make sure I take a moment to say happy Merry Christmas to you guys, and I hope everyone had a really nice day outside of the loss tonight. But again, I think with a banged-up team that we did have, who's in and who's out, this is probably one of the better outcomes to come from this. We were 13.5-point underdogs at home tonight, and we lost by 7. And it came down to the end of the wire of this game. And if there's multiple different camps of Chiefs Kingdom, right? You have the ones who wants to tank, lose, and by any means necessary. Then you have other types, like most of us, who just want to see our team play good, right? Just play good football or win, right? Just play, show some heart out there, and not like the lifeless stuff that we saw last week. But tonight you saw a little bit of a team that was play their butts off, almost won that game, led for a little bit of it, and then we lost in the end. And now probably may have a better draft pick in the end. So it was two good things, right? You saw some life. You saw some guys who are going to be playing next year, probably have bigger roles on the team next year. They played their butts off. JD, Merry Christmas, buddy. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Merry Christmas to y'all brothers, both. Dash brothers.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
JD,
I give you a better pick as a Christmas gift.
Huh?
I give you a better draft selection as a Christmas.
Oh, is that what you gifted me for Christmas? I didn't want that one.
No. Oh, God.
JD, I thought tonight was a good was a best of both worlds kind of scenario. And I know former players players in general don't take any silver linings from losses, but in a situation where we are right now, with the amount of guys who are injured tonight, when we were a shorthanded team versus the Broncos, and we played our asses off tonight. We saw guys that will probably have more of a playing time next year play tonight and play pretty damn good. Like, where has Christian Fulton been all season? Noah Williams has matured a lot in this year, and you saw his progression in tonight's game. Being able to TFLs, his physical play, snuffing screens out, snuffing the run out. You saw Christian Fulton just be a man out there. I mean, he was taking Cortland Sutton to task all night, which I loved. But you saw guys who are going to get more playtime next year come out and actually do their thing. And then in some camps of Chiefs getting the ones who want us to have a better draft pick, like Teja and a lot of people who just want us to tank, they got their thing too. They got the loss in the end too. But also, we saw life tonight. We saw a team that actually brought it tonight. And shorthanded at 33 minutes to 17 minutes of possession time, defense was out there all night long, and they played amazing against the team that's probably going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. We went nose to nose and face to face with a team that's probably going to be the 1 seed in the AFC and didn't blink tonight. And I think tonight, and also we saw really one penalty, but 2 penalties in this game tonight. Talk about a team that's been undisciplined pretty much all year long. They showed tonight when you play disciplined football, you have a chance at the end of the game, regardless of who's your starting quarterback in a primetime game against the number 1 seed in the AFC. So I feel like this game kind of gave a lot to love for Chiefs fans in every camp where you sit in, the tank camp or the team or the camp just wants to see their team go out there and compete. What do you make of that, JD?
I don't know, man. There's a lot there. I'll say this though. This game right here showed me more than the Tennessee game we ever would have, to be honest with you. And like you said, it's based off of who was going to come out and who's going to show up tonight. And every single guy that was out there did that. So it was a much better indicator about how good our team actually is. And I was trying to say this and, said it in my, keys to victory, that we had a shot. We had a chance. It wasn't going to be a blowout. I didn't believe that at all. And so what do you have to do is you just got to be able to manage the game like you could. So one thing it did tell me, though, it is that we can run the football more than we did all season. And we did that. We dedicated ourselves to the run game. And it helped out. It helped out with Chris. It helped out when Chris needed to take off running. Some play action too. Helped out on a few things. And so there's some things we can do differently. But with this, I get the whole, tank it camp. I'm not really on that, tank it camp people, I how I feel about y'all. Okay. I say y'all because, y'all been playing the whole tank game, and yeah. Just it's all good. It's all good, right? It's all good. We're gonna roll.
Man, I think my boy Chris Jones in that tank camp.
No, Chris, man. I know.
So he just had a rookie mistake in his 12th year in the NFL.
He just beat himself up. I mean, I know he was sitting there thinking, at that moment, because you're trying to stop him, right? And the announcers, I want you to just let him score. It's just like, no, you don't want to do that. And it's just like those things when he's trying to jump the snap count. And what we don't know, and I'm gonna tell you how it works down there in right there in the trenches. Somebody's saying hut, 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 hut. Like they're doing everything to draw you off, right? And Chris got caught up and he pulled back and he's just like, oh man. So that stinks. That stinks because of that. So yeah, we benefit for losing this game because you move up in the draft. I don't know what that's going to do for you, especially with, who you're going to get between maybe 1 pick or 2 picks. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like I said, Taze,
the top 12, JD, that could be the difference between Jalen Carter and someone not Jalen Carter. That could be a pretty big difference there.
Yeah, it could be the difference between Ryan Leaf and somebody else too. There's a lot of first round picks.
Well, you're right though. Yeah, Ryan Leaf and Manning. That's a big difference.
Yeah. So if you're sitting there, but these people could be bust too in the first round. My thing is,
I mean, yeah, of course, yeah.
But so my point is really it's the supporting cast that you're going to have showing back up, right? And I think when Reid was sitting there talking about who's the guy's going to be here, and he needed to find out who had the fire and who had the fight. And the guys that stepped up tonight showed that. McDonald was one that came in, led linebacker. But I didn't see Bossa. I looked for him. I'm looking for Bossa everywhere. I'm like, I don't see Bossa. I see McDonald in there. I'm like, shoot, McDonald's getting some playing time. Here's a guy who was undrafted free agent, comes in, and he's, I said this during preseason. He looked good. Oladukin having the offense, for 3 days to sit everything where he needed to get, and have him manage it. They called a good game for him. I think they really did. I think I agree with what TG was talking about, man. if this is Travis Kelce's last rodeo, shoot, get the ball to him till the end. And I know he said this for a fact because I know TG, when he was in that the game down there in the for the playoffs, they didn't go to him at the very last. They went to Roddy. And I'm just like, you don't go to the guy that you know is Hall of Fame first ballot, has been making the catches. That's what you do. We did that on the last drive, but we should have been doing that, kind of throwing the ball to him a little bit more down the road. But with that being said, all of that being said, these guys fought hard. They did. I think everybody rallied around Chris. I think everybody knew what this moment could have meant, maybe for Travis too. But nobody was going to lay down tonight. Like I said before, they just weren't going to do it. And I had it in my keys to victory that these guys are just not built that way. They're not. And so you want to be able to get the best out of your guys, especially when you know your back's against the wall. Nobody gave them a chance. Nobody. I did. I'm hoping these guys are going to come up and show up, and they did. Shoot, we almost had a chance to go down and, heck, tie the game. If he had thrown that ball early to Hollywood Brown, it's 6. It's a touchdown. He beat him off the initial. So with that being said, man, I think it was some good things tonight. We've seen some good play from different players that's going to be here. So I'm okay. I'm on board with all of that right there, though.
Yeah, the heart is what stood out tonight, and you saw the guys who showed that tonight for sure. Teja's kind of what JD and I was talking about. A lot to love, and certain camps, right? Everyone kind of eats tonight, right? EGE for everybody. You saw heart, you saw life, and then for people who just want a better draft pick, you saw the loss in the end as well.
I think every fan wants us to play good every game, whether we end up with a W or an L. That's maybe where some people split, but I think everyone wants to see. Even a team that's going nowhere, it's like a 2-win team. You want to see progression. You want to see your team going in the right direction every week. You want to see your guys get better. You want to see, because the better they look now, they're getting ahead of looking better next season. They can build. Let's build off this. The cliche goes. So, yeah, I was happy. I was really happy. Cornerback, I have my eye on that just because it's a very polarizing position. We have a lot of free agents. We had a guy we signed this last year who hasn't played that much. We have a rookie 4th rounder who hasn't seen the field as much as a lot of fans think he should have. We have our number 1 corner who's maybe going to get traded. Our second best corner who's one of the sleeper cornerbacks of free agency. So, it's really good to see Noel and Fulton look like very capable starting cornerbacks. It makes me feel good about the offseason. I don't see us re-signing McDuffie. I really don't. I don't think we have to re-sign Watson like everyone thinks. Everyone thinks that if we don't re-sign McDuffie, it's like a given we're going to re-sign Watson. I don't believe that either. Do I think we need to refuel the tank at cornerback and secondary? Yes, I do. But that doesn't necessarily mean overpaying Watson. I think we're done overpaying our own guys from now on. But yeah, it was very encouraging to see us play really good. I don't think the Broncos are particularly that good of a team. Like this, I told you in the game, this would be by far Denver's worst loss of the season. It'd be terrible, especially right before the playoffs, too, to lose against a team who has put like 7 guys on IR, probably prematurely, and a 3rd-string quarterback. It'd be a bad loss for them. So I think it worked out pretty well. I do want a better pick. I'll be honest about it. But I'm glad we played well. I'm not, for a second, I didn't want to see us fall flat on our face at any point of that game. Yeah. Anyway.
I think we put a lot of stock, man, in the draft. And I think, obviously for future purposes that you do that. But supporting cast and how they perform, especially with an abysmal season as it has been, is important, especially moving forward, because you already got something established, right? You have guys that's already there. You don't have to relearn a guy, put him into your system. It's like, look, these guys know what to do. And Christian Fulton, because we've been calling for him all season, why he's been a healthy scratch, how come he hadn't gotten in? Is it still nicks and bruises? But what he did tonight, and because he was a starting corner with the Chargers for a little bit before he got hurt, he did show me something. He did. He showed me something. Noah Williams, every time he's come in, has been able to show something. I didn't really particularly get to see Royals come in. Did y'all see Jalen Royals come in? I just seen him on the sideline. I didn't really see much.
He started, but I didn't really see him do much.
But he didn't get no work like that, though. I mean, that's the only thing, because we're really throwing the football. So, like I said, moving forward, I said this. It's all about fitting the guy into your culture, him understanding exactly what his job is. It's the same thing I talked about, young guys coming in. If they don't understand what the responsibility, what it means to be an NFL football player, the dedication that it takes to be great, and understand, especially what this organization has established over the past 9 years, that's going to be a problem. You got to bring in winners. You got to bring in guys that is going to get the job done. I think we did that with Josh Simmons. I think we hit it out of the park. Most of our top draft picks that we've had is done a pretty decent job. So, you getting a stud from 10 to 12. I mean, it depends on what you need. What's our need? So if we're going for it, Teja and Marcus, I'm asking y'all right now, who do y'all pick? What do you go for? What position? Okay, if we're
the
picking,
draft.
Yes. 10 to 15.
Hey, you want to start this now?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
I'll do the Miyagi. I'll do the Miyagi on this.
Okay.
I don't have a. We had this conversation last year too, and it's even like worse this year. It's more even open. I don't have a particular position. I would say get this no matter. I want the best player at this position more than anyone else because I think that position is needed the most. I think we have a lot of primary positions we need. I think we have a lot of secondary positions we need. And by secondary positions, I mean not necessarily this season because we have a guy who's still under contract, but that contract's going to end soon after, or we're going to get out of that contract possibly in the future because he makes too much money. Right tackle, for instance, is a good example of a secondary need in my mind because I think between Jalen Moore and Pole, I think we have a right tackle in mind for at least a season, right?
Yeah.
When you look at some other positions out there, are a little more glaring. Like I think D end is more as a primary need for me, right?
Yeah.
I think receivers up there for me. So I'm open. I like a lot of guys. This draft has a really deep top end. I really like it. So I think it comes down to who's highest on his board. I think we have so many positions that we can upgrade that if there's a guy that's like top 3 on Veach's board and he's still out there at 8 or 9, I think he goes up there to try to get them no matter who it is. But I would say based on the strength of the top of the draft, I'd say if the right receiver falls, like Tate, if Downs falls, I know no one was really thinking of safety, but that guy is. You want to give your defense a facelift and give your defensive identity. Like that's a guy you draft and you don't think twice about it, even if you don't prioritize safety as some other guys do, because that guy is just
he's special.
He's a missile for your defense. He improves the entire thing. He gives your defense a brain trust out there at all times. If you haven't seen a lot of highlights on him, JD,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So we watched prospects and our dad was in the background doing something in the kitchen. And I guess he was kind of watching with the side of his eye. My dad comes out who's like, who is that you've been watching? And I was like, oh, that's Downs. He's a safety for the Ohio State. That's all he talks about now. All he talks about is Downs because he was like enamored with him. Like he is just everywhere. And you could see him dissecting a play while just sitting back. And then before the ball even goes to where it's supposed to go, he's already heading that direction. Anyway, I can go on him down, so we'll have plenty of time for that. But I think there's a lot of guys, a lot of DNs. There's D tackles. I think it's for what we need in primary and secondary. I think this draft it's a perfect one to be like top 12 in.
So you don't have a particular saying if anything, we're going for the highest order of this. You wouldn't say we have a need over one guy or position than any other one.
No, because some of these guys are so good that I would say takedowns over the number 3 DN in the draft. That's what I would say. I would say I'd rather have a superstar secondary player than like the best of the best who's available at D end.
Okay, so for me, and it's like you can have a super guy at secondary or whatever, but if you don't have a pass rush or guys to get there to,
I agree.
It's almost a moot point. And so I think you have to go after somebody that is special on the D line, especially D line. I mean, seriously, we need somebody that's going to be able to come in and generate sacks and pressures on the quarterback. Then you could probably play with a secondary, safety, a second or third round pick on that position. So I think when we're talking about guys that you covet, especially on the offensive or defensive line for us, for me, it's defensive line, period. That's what I'm
but a special, you said special guy from defensive line.
Special guy from defensive line. And you don't get a special guy defensive line in the top 15 picks. You just saw it. So I could wait on secondary. I could get a solid guy in the secondary playing safety as opposed to going after a guy early on something like that. So
I'm not a safety early guy, believe me.
Yeah, okay. All right. See, that's what I thought you were saying.
No. I'm not. I think the level of the player factors into it, though. I just think Downs is just a special, unique. He just raises your entire defense, I think, so much. I think Downs, and it depends who's out there around there too. But I just think if you're going Downs or like the third best D end, even though we need that pass rush that much, I think Downs compared to, I'll put it this way, Downs compared to the second or third round safety and like the third or fourth best D end available when we draft and like the second or third round D end, I think the Downs difference is a lot bigger from that safety in the second or third round. And again, depends who's out there. I love a lot of these guys, so I'm not going to be very upset with who we take, because I think again, it's a great draft to be that high end.
No,
I hear you're saying, Teja, but to JD's point, like gun to your head, what's the position that you think we need the most? Gun to your head. I know you're saying best player available, right? And that's I'm with you on
between a bunch of positions, best player available, not just anybody. Like, right? I mean,
but what would be your number one position? Someone said, "Hey, Brett Veach has to fill in this
pass rush."
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just yeah.
And I'll take that. By the way, I'll take that from a D tackle or a D end. I won't even be picky about it. If you can dominate, one-on-one on the D line, I like you a lot.
Right.
Is what I yes. I think that is definite for me. I'm not safety is we find secondary guys. I just particularly like Downs. If Downs isn't there, shoot, man. I'm okay. Put it this way. I'm researching Downs and then I'm researching like third and fourth round safeties. Like, I don't even want this middle nonsense because I think we can find comparable guys in the third or fourth who are being drafted in the second round, right? I just think Downs is such a big.
I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about once you watch Downs, JD. I'm curious what you have to say.
I'll check him out, but I'm just saying overall, like if I'm practically, the practical thing I'm looking at, just football wise, we know everything. The game is one up front. It just is, and so that's why you paying your defensive ends and defensive tackles $30-40 million. Now you're looking at Parsons like 50, and so now safeties are not they're not making that type of money. They're just not, and so there's a reason for that. And if I get a guy that, let's just say a journeyman that can do a great job, and you pay him some good money to come in as a solid guy, I think we can do that. Or get somebody in the secondary, maybe in the second or third round, fourth to fit that mold. But without a doubt, man, you have to have a pass rush. We've been too much of blitzing guys with Spags, and that's what it's been.
I know.
Yeah. And if it's not Chris Jones getting back there, then it's everybody, crawling to try to get back there to the quarterback. And we need a game changer on the outside, or like you said, a defensive tackle right beside Chris.
Totally. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Cassius Howell fan, and he's not even top 3 ranked DNs. But when I watch him play, he's got kind of that it factor to me. He's got like the guy who can rattle off like 3 sacks in a row type guy and change and flip the game on its head. He might not be the best D end in the draft, right? But I love that thing he does ridiculously well is the thing we need ridiculously, right? Like I don't need a complete DN right now. I want a guy who can just say, I'm going to dominate and get to that quarterback whenever the hell I want to. That's what I want in a DN right now. We have a lot of guys who can play a lot of the set the edge, and not a lot of guys, but guys who can do it all well. But we don't have a guy who can just dominate pass rushing. Right.
So I didn't want to get too deep in the weeds on that because I know we'll cover that later on it. But I just wanted to say, hey, like if you had what is your druthers? What's your pick, right? So somebody keeps saying Love and running back, but somebody made a great point is, with the guys that we had in tonight, they showed a lot. They showed an absolute lot, man. And so
no love for me.
Yeah. They talking about Love and so let's just talk about the game in itself, what we saw out there. Okay. Let's talk about what we saw out there tonight. We seen Pacheco run hard. We seen Hunt run pretty hard. Norzak came in. I said I loved Norzak coming in as that tight end, man. He just gives us a different element of physicality on that line. So we do have to get another tight end, I think, in here who's a very physical tight end. And we don't know what Travis Kelce, what the future holds for him. We just don't know. Everybody's speculating, but until he makes that decision, he comes out on press conference saying this was the last one. I'm gonna stay hopeful. I'm gonna stay hopeful that he might just have one more left in him, just one more. That he's sitting there saying, if I want to do everything right, and I'm kind of unsure, like when he was talking to TG a little bit, I think there is some hesitation.
There is
about where he is. Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to be too early on this and regret making that decision by going out knowing there's other work to do. Or I don't want to be too late because I'm still playing good ball. He's still playing good ball. He's healthy. Now he has a longer rest. He's never had this type of rest before in a long time. And so now he's shooting. Now his body can heal. He could take stock of things a little bit better than what it was before. So this might change his whole decision as far as what it would have been. If he made the Super Bowl and let's say playoffs and he didn't make it, it might be a whole different thing. But now he knows after next week, that's it. He's going home, after the Raiders. So that might weigh in saying, you know what, now I got a little bit more time. Let my body heal. I could take me a break like I want to, come back, spry, reinvigorated. I am ready to go one more time. I'm coming back from my boy Pat. Then he could do the whole tour, right? The whole retired tour. And he could do it the right way that I don't think anybody else has done it on that level in the NFL before. Just knows like, hey, look, this is going to be my last time. You heard the cheers he had tonight, what they were just giving him. So, because everybody's like, we don't know what it's going to be. But
I think I heard one more year chants at the end of the game from the crowd. One more year. One more year.
Yeah.
And the interview with Tony was pretty insightful because like Tony kind of like fed it for him, like kind of like gave him like a super player, like you need to accomplish everything you need to accomplish. I kept playing until 37 because I wanted to win a Super Bowl. You've already done that. You've already accomplished all those accolades. He's like, yeah, I have, but like I don't know. I still have that love for the game, but I don't know. I'm still mulling over, like kind of thing. It's okay. For a lot of people who think it's a foregone conclusion because he said he didn't say we when he was talking about the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. Like it's not a foregone conclusion. And for anyone thinks we're instantly going to get better at tight end when he does retire, you have no idea what you're talking about. You didn't watch football this year because he's still a top 3 tight end. He's not 3 years ago, Kelce, but he's still a top 3 tight end in the NFL. So
for sure. So, go ahead.
Yeah, no. The one thing that which you kind of alluded to a little bit when we talked about guys who played tonight who played really well. And the number one thing, and you said no Williams every time he's played this year, he's like, he's made flash plays. You say, oh man, like 20's got some juice. You see that with no Williams. Mm-hmm. But Christian Fulton's been a really polarizing player in Chiefs camp because he was one of the guys we signed. He got hurt, had surgery right before we went to the season. He's been kind of in and out of the lineup all year and didn't play for most of the season. And tonight he actually played, and he played really well against a good receiver, Cortland Sutton, who's no slouch whatsoever. And he played really well. And I saw Carrington Harrison, friend of the show, Carrington Harrison. I know all of our followers and subscribers know who that is. He quote tweeted Sterling Holmes on Twitter. And the guy was pretty much giving Christian Fulton his flowers. Carrington said that man couldn't play until a super preseason. He's done. So, and that's kind of a lot of things. People say he's gone after the season. Christian Fulton will get cut because it saves the team around $5 million. And to me, it's like, I think they may call it, whoever wants to call it super preseason. The other team over there is still putting their starters out there. And when we saw tonight, we saw Christian Fulton giving it his all against that guy, Cortland Sutton on the other end. And he dominated. And I don't think he's going to be cut at all. We talk about these other guys who are going to get paid or traded. If you're talking about saving $5 million versus paying Jalen Watson big money or Trey McDuffie big money when the extension comes, I think they're going to keep this guy because I don't think you're saving $5 million is nothing. And I think what he showed tonight was a good resume builder for like, look, you can have me a full season next year, and this is what you're going to get from me. And I think he really put it all out there. What did you see from tonight, JD, from Christian Fulton that has you kind of excited about, like, well, A, why didn't we see you earlier, and B, what this guy could show going forward for us?
I mean, I think he played well tonight. Cortland Sutton is a good, he's a good wide receiver in this league. I think the question with Fulton is his health. That's what it is. Is he durable enough to last an entire season? Can he make it? That's going to be the question for him. And so some of these nagging injuries, he had the knee thing, especially like I said, for a corner. I mean, that's where you make your money. So he's as long as he stay healthy, nothing happens with him, then, I mean, they paid him good money for a reason because they felt like he was a solid corner. And so we know he likes playing hard, and we know he likes playing physical. And we've seen that tonight. Him is just kind of making plays. So saying that he's done, I I think somebody's just saying that to hollering just to be hollering, seriously. So it didn't look, man. If you sign saving you $5 million on the cap, it's not really a big deal. Shoot, you hold a guy like that anyway because you already put some money into him. You want to get you what you paid for. Shoot, if you paid him, I forgot what he got this year, but hey, shoot, we want to go ahead and ride you for one more year. How about we do that?
2 year, $20 million.
Okay, so shoot, why not? Like you said, if we're thinking about Jalen Watson and where Trent McDuffie is going to be in this whole situation, and what they're going to sign him, or they're going to extend his contract, is he going to go for the franchise tag, whatever it may be? Those are good questions. I have a question on the inside: who's going to play that nickel slot? Okay, Jamari Commerce had been getting picked on all night, all season, really, and in this game, and you know me, I try to be fair. I really do to guys out there playing because I know they give everything that they do on the field. But teams know where there's a liability, and they attack it. They understand we're going to isolate our guy on another dude, or the type of coverage that they're given. And so they start snuffing him out. That's what they start doing. And so once they started doing that, man, they started like, we gonna shoot. Let's pick this guy apart. Let's go after 27. And so I don't know if it's just decision making, him hesitating as far as like going and just go to go make the play. He's missed tackles. He missed the wide open, the open field tackle on Harvey. I'm like, geez, come on, Jamari, you got to make that. Drop your hips, man, and run through the guy. And so things of that nature, man, it's hard to see that position. And it's just not only him, but then when you start looking at it, the depth piece at that position, who else do you have? Because if he's our best option at that, then we need to explore some other things then. And I'm really trying to be fair to him, man. But I think, when he at the first of the season, He looks good in preseason. He looks good during training camp, and then during the season when it kind of goes into it. If there's just things he's just not being detailed on, okay, or sound in coverage or coming up just making plays, like what are you waiting for? I think it's a problem, man. So there's some things we had to look at. We had to look at, man, especially that position is who's going to play nickel, or that other safety guy. Seriously. CRW too. He's another one, man. He messed up this year too. I'm telling you, that position, those guys, Jamari, CRW, they're not quite there yet where they need to be. This league, and teams know it. Teams know it.
I feel like, in regards to Connor, I remember last year. Remember you were talking about how that was one of your favorite players on the team, Connor, because the way he plays. What has happened? Because I remember he was. I mean, we always said that he should be guarding slot guys. Remember, Lad McConkey ate his lunch, stole his lunch money last year. But like he was providing stuff like the Swiss Army knife kind of deal that like I hadn't seen from him this year. I mean, missing tackles. Like he was kind of a force defensively for us last year, and I kind of a fall off for him. What do you think has happened with Connor, JD? Like confidence loss, or is playing out of position, or?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen it last year too. I always say that's just a step behind. And look, I want people to understand, man, playing that position in nickel is a hard position. It truly is. Why? Because guys have a two-way go. So you almost had to cover the middle of the field and, get down and cover, parts of the zone. You got to know where everybody is. So it's not an easy task. It's not. But you had to have somebody who was fast enough, who was kind of strong enough, but can absolutely stay with a guy. I mean, I'm talking about inside and out. You got to be that good. And those guys that play that position and play nickel are dogs. They got a dog mentality. And that's because they have to have that. They know, shoot, I got to be able to cover this guy. Our guy that we had, man, when I played, Benny Sapp was a dog. Benny went out there and he was just like, I'm going to cover this guy all day. I don't care who it is. He's going to try to lock him down. But that's the mentality you have to have. So I know somebody was like, who would be a good nickel? Trent McDuffie, but Trent McDuffie is more valuable to me on the outside as opposed to nickel. So there's some things you can do from the nickel standpoint covering. You can bracket guys. You have have the linebacker help you. But when you know your assignment that you're almost all alone, you got to know who you got. You got to know where your help is. And if you don't know where it is, it's going to look that bad. And so we struggled all season, the past couple of years, seriously, from that position.
Yeah, and that's why our third down conversion rate is so bad this year, is because oftentimes they're going to the slot guy, and because we can't do anything about it. And you saw it tonight. Tej, thoughts on Christian Fulton, what we saw tonight, or the Chamari Connor conversation, just finding a nickel guy going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we need to find a nickel guy. I totally agree. Fulton, I think, played pretty well. Yeah, it's $5 million savings if we cut him. It's so tough. So tough coming on this late in the season. It's like, what's real? 2-game sample size of looking good, or a 16-game sample size of being on a milk carton. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's hard to know that. If they, I'll trust the staff on that one. If they think that, if the play today wasn't sustainable for a full season, and if we don't have Connor, and if we don't have McDuffie, and we don't have Watson, and we don't have Joshua Williams, we're going to need him. This year, we didn't necessarily need him as much because our cornerback depth was better. But next year, if you're talking about bringing another rookie and signing a guy off the street to learn our system, Fulton's going to have to be a pretty key member of that secondary. We're going to be relying on him big time. That's my biggest hesitation. Connor, I think, just needs – that's funny, man. He was so good last year, hitting the flats, just coming out of nowhere, not letting, leaky running backs get major yards against us. he took a step back. Hopefully we get another slot corner in here and just let Connor play his best game wherever that is, wherever he's most comfortable. Luckily, slot corners are not that hard to find in the draft because there are so many undersized like nickel slot corners. There are a lot of good ones that come out every year. A lot of teams just don't like drafting one too high because you're just, you know what I mean? They want like a complete
position, like
yeah. They just don't want to do that. But they are out there. So I'm not like too worried on finding one, but you're probably going to rely on. I mean, he'll probably have to compete with Knowles in the slot. Hopefully not Connor again. But yeah. Again, like we said, secondary is going to be fascinating in this offseason. A lot of potential changes happening.
And I get the Fulton kind of questioning, but from the injury standpoint, JD, like you mentioned, I mean, that was like, first half of the season, he looked great with the Chargers last year. Second half, he had a bit of a hamstring injury that kind of lingered all throughout the second half of the season. His numbers went down. Quarterbacks seemed to target him. But obviously, they liked him enough to give him that deal, a 2-year, $20 million deal. But, the injuries follow him, and we don't see him until the end of the season. And yeah, that is a fair thing to bring up. Obviously, the injuries if we could trust him for a full season. But for people like C. Dot and a lot of fans online to say like super preseason, these games don't matter. Like, well, no, because Denver, that's a top dog receiver, and Denver's trying to get a 1 seed. So like you were playing against a top flight a receiver tonight, and a team that wanted to win that game. So like you could definitely take this film and be like, you know what? We have something with this guy. I mean, like we did bring him in for a reason. And like tonight he showed that, yeah, we haven't seen him all season, but he was healthy scratch for some of those games. So it wasn't like he wasn't ready. He was a healthy scratch. So for whatever reason, that for me, I have more of a question as to why were they not playing him? Why was he a healthy scratch? And like, that's a product we saw when he came on the field tonight. Then like he could have been a big piece for us this year because we had issues at the second half of the season. So that's more a question I have.
I don't know. Maybe like I said, he still might have had those little nicks, just kind of still bother him a little bit here and there. Maybe they just didn't feel like he was better, putting a product out there better than the guys that was over it. I mean, they make a lot of different decisions for that. But this game was purposeful. It was. This wasn't just a super. What you call it? A super what? Preseason?
Called it a super preseason game.
Silly. That's silly talk. It is. Just for the simple fact that both teams, like the Chiefs, we had something that we was wanting to try to prove, and Denver wanted that number 1 seed. That's what they're going for, and so they know they had to beat the Chiefs. None of them guys gave up tonight. They tried their best to win, and they won by the skin of their teeth, okay, against, all the guys that, we got guys coming off the street. We don't know who he's signing, who's going to be the next quarterback, and shoot. And we took them to the wire. So, like I said before, man, this film right here showed enough for me, much more than I learned from the Tennessee game. I think guys are really kind of licking their wounds a little bit, felt sorry for themselves because they knew they was out of it. And then all of a sudden, this game right here, we're sitting there saying like, look, we're at home. People don't really believe in us. They don't think we have a chance. I remember some guy put on your tweet, it's going to be 48-10, but come see y'all after the game. And I know you was like, yeah, still come see us. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I didn't really want to tweet anything. But I wanted to tweet that what I had to say, for the keys to victory. Shoot, that was important for people to hear that.
Sure.
And just like say, like, look, man, nobody's coming in here to lay down. Just not who guys are. They're not made that way. They're just not. I'm sorry. And if you have guys that are willing just to sit back and lay down, like, yeah, okay, I do it. Then as a coach, I'm gonna question that. I'm like, he said yes too fast for me. Hey, coach, I don't need this guy. He's ready to lay down. Seriously. I mean, that's my evaluation. Okay. And so I'm evaluating toughness. I'm evaluating heart. I'm evaluating motivation. Do you still love it? When you don't have anything on the line, do you still love it? That's my question. And so when you come out here and you lackadaisical in your movement, or how you been all week, like I said, in your hen and in film and stuff, it was guys that was focused. It was guys that knew playing tonight, like Fulton did, know was like, this is my opportunity to show everybody that I am that guy. So stop Fulton. I mean, 2 for 20 million is not breaking the bank for a corner. It's not. So if we sitting over here on this and we save $5 million in the cap, which I don't say, we shoot. Let's go ahead and get that, keep that $5 million with us.
Yeah.
You know, he played solid tonight. And so if it's all about him just being healthy, fine. Let's make sure you remain healthy for the entire year. Okay. Because you're a good corner when you are healthy. You are.
Yep.
You seen that tonight. So we would just maybe had just waited for that, Marcus, for him to really be all the way healthy.
Let me ask you a question real fast. Oh, go ahead, Marcus.
No. Continue.
I was going to say, tying this into what we talked about earlier as far as primary and secondary needs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say our top 2 corners going into the offseason after let's say we trade McDuffie, we let Watson go. Let's say our 2 starters are Fulton and Noah Williams. Would cornerback be a primary need or a secondary need at that point?
Secondary.
Really?
Yeah.
No nickel corner and Noel and Fulton who are like 3 or who are 4 and 5 corners to start the season this year as our number 1 and 2.
No, yeah, I still say, man, you could probably find you a good corner in the second round, second or third.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, but that's okay. That's still pretty high though.
Yeah.
Second round's pretty high.
Yeah. So I'm not. No, I'm still like, you still had to have a guy, and I'm talking about a main character on the defensive line.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying number 1, but primary is like,
Yeah, no,
we need it.
primary.
We need it now.
D line.
D line's ahead of corner for me, but I'd still think I would still put corner as a primary need, not higher on the priority list than D line pass rush.
Okay, so here's the reason. The reason I say that, I know we still have Joshua Williams. Joshua Williams was still here.
No, I think he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent. He'll be a free agent too.
Yeah, man, we're pretty depleted at corner after this.
It's an entire draft class.
So, this is year number for Joshua? This is all 4, right?
This is the end of it, and then McDuffie gets the 5th year
option on it. Okay,
yeah.
So let's say you extend Joshua then, unless he goes somewhere else. I mean, he hadn't played all year. He hadn't.
Milk carton boys, Fulton and Joshua Williams, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, Joshua Williams did have at least a little bit of experience his first year.
Yeah, if that's a cheap depth signing, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So if you're doing this, like I said, you could get a corner in the second or third round. We've been hitting on corners. Jalen Watson is what? What is it, a 4th, 5th round pick? Something like that?
7.
7th?
Yeah.
So DN, D tackle threat aside, what's your next position then? Because I think that's what I'm getting at.
Okay. Here's a good question. It's a very good question.
I mean, if you're saying cornerback, you like a second rounder, then cornerback's up there then for you.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. My first 2 picks might be defensive line.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a first round or early second for McDuffie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'm just saying, why not? If you want to bolster your defensive line with pressures and speed rush and all of those different things, you can do that getting some dogs in here.
Yeah.
Seriously. If you want to help out your secondary, help out those guys that, okay, we don't want to cover for 6 to 7 seconds, go get your Benito and those guys like that. Go get some guys that's going to be breathing down the necks of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Help the secondary out a whole lot. So now all of a sudden, I don't have to have a top tier guy. I have me a guy, like you said, secondarily wise. Let me go get a defensive tackle, a monster, and a defensive end that I know is going to eat somebody's lunch, who's coming off every single play. Because that changes things. It absolutely does for a team. And so a secondary sitting back there knowing hey, if I got 3 Chris Jones on the line, I'm good back here. They're going to have to get rid of the football early. They're going to have to.
Yeah.
So the hardest position to play in football is the corner. It's the hardest position to play. Okay. That secondary, man, you got to be an athlete. You are on an island. You got to be the guy. That's tough. Guys are running at you full speed. You got to backpedal, just as fast and play. Shoot. But I think what helps that out, man, is you got solid guys that's coming after the full, the quarterback helps in the run, helps in everything. So
yeah, I think we can find our track record's been really good with corner. I think we can find a starting level corner in like round 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've been calling for the last few years is to bolster up that rotation on the line, DT and DN, and also we'll have Omar Norman Lott back as well in the rotation next year too, and he was supposed to be another guy who can give some pass rush from the interior, so we'll also have him back next year as well. So I do agree. I think DN and D tackle, it's no more kicking the can down the road, no more just trying to rely on high motor guys. No, we need some studs who just go quarterback.
I want a man at DT, a guy who can stack and shed, hold the offensive guard up, and just throw him aside when the running back's coming. That's what I want next to Chris Jones.
Yeah, and you can't be held hostage looking all of a sudden finding David and Clowney asking for $20 million to sign him. Be like, dang, we ain't got the right guys. I'm like, no, let's go on and get these guys right now, and we're gonna have them for a long time, so we don't have to worry about that at all. So that's what we've been my secondary pick right there, Teja. Definitely. I'd say 2. If you get 2 studs on the D line, it changes things.
Yeah.
You can play anybody, a lot of good guys behind them.
And then maybe FAU can give us some juice when he comes back as well. Hopefully. Let's
another milk carton boy.
Why you do that, Marcus?
Well, I saw the FAU is gonna be back next year too. That's a guy I totally forgot about. So yeah, he'll also be able to give us some juice. Hopefully,
milk carton crew, man.
So I know we saw a lot of life when the defense played their butts off, and that's kind of been the theme of this episode. But offensively, kind of talk about that. That's the one thing that people are saying online, and a lot of the Twitter conversation was offense looked putrid tonight. And a lot of people said it's kind of interesting that the offense looked bad tonight, right? In years past with Andy Reid, be it Philadelphia days, be it Kansas City days, he would have games with AJ Feely, old man Jeff Garcia, Kevin Kolb, Chase Daniels with us, Chad Henne. He would always find ways to get these guys that look pretty competent, like they look like good, put up pretty decent numbers. And tonight was just kind of a rough game. I know third string left tackle, third string right tackle. But the offense just didn't look right. I mean, we're talking about 17 minutes of time possession tonight. Luckily, we got the interception that gave us to get the ball in midfield. But I know you said you liked I would say I like the success of the run game tonight, JD, but still wasn't enough run. I mean, I had 8 carries for Kareem Hunt, 9 carries for Pacheco, so 17 combined between the two guys. We didn't run it enough. And then also on top of that, I like that we try to get the ball to Brashard Smith in the passing game. He had the touchdown, which was awesome, broke a tackle to get in. And they had a middle screen for him at the end of the game, which he was that close to breaking it if he just broke that one tackle, if he baited that one defender. I'm still questioning on as to why we don't give him any carries. He had a nice punt return tonight, which I think get used to seeing him as a punt returner because I think he'll be the guy going forward. And he looked great at that. But I can't really, and people want to blame Matt Nagy, but I just can't understand how, what happened to the Andy Reid offense, which didn't matter what quarterback was back there. He could find that he could make the best of that guy and just make them look like a semi-competent quarterback. And tonight, 60 yards passing. I mean, just nuts. I was genuinely surprised about just how the offense didn't look as good as I thought. Because I think you give Andy Reid a week to prepare with a quarterback, I think he might, whip up a nice game plan. It just didn't really seem we had a solid offensive game plan tonight.
Well, he didn't really have a week. Only had a few days. So that was part of the problem. And so what you wanted to give him something that is manageable, something you're sitting there saying, I'm not going to put him in jeopardy of turning the football over. So let's do things that is comfortable to him, hand the ball off, get under center, make it some easy throws. We probably could have thrown more slants all day. But that was the one we did an RPO, and Denver's disguised the defense, right? And that's different ways they got it. So they kind of knew that. But for like Chris, timing routes outside, throws he made in Tennessee game. He made some great throws to the outside against Tennessee. We don't do enough like seam routes either. There's different things that we probably could have done that kind of, at least kept it where he wasn't really stuck in the decision making, put it that way. So there was no ambiguity for him. It's like, hey, look, you got 1-2 reads, and that's it. We're just going to kind of keep it there. You know what I mean? We don't want to overload you with too much. If you see it, let's go get the ball out to the flat, which he did. And then, of course, he just started taking off running. But also, too, what hurt it was the time of possession. Time of possession hurt us, too. So we just didn't really have the ball in our hands that much. But, we need our defense to hold us down this week. Well, at least this game. They did. They did a good job. Shoot, kept us in there where we needed to be. So I said it needed to take all three phases to win this game. Yep. And we almost pulled it off. So
the Brashard Smith utilization, is that still perplexing to you? Are we not getting many carries, JD? You would think that at this point in the season, like, hey, let's give him some touches in the backfield. I love the pass catching, but I want to see some carries from the guy.
No, they weren't going to do it. Shoot, now why you got Pacheco and Hunt there? They're going to stick with, the older guys. That's what they're going to do. Guys with more experience. And so, Brashard Smith, we got you in this role. You pegged in this role. This is what you're going to be. You should have ran him 4 weeks ago. That's what you should have did if you were going to do anything. When you still had a chance to see what it's going to look like. So,
Teja, thoughts on offense? Were you surprised by the offense tonight? And also Brashard Smith usage.
It's nice to see him get that touchdown, Brashard Smith. Yeah, I don't know. I think he should get more carries. I don't understand it. Maybe Reid's doing a solid to try to get Pacheco a contract from someone else in the offseason. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. We should be worried about our guys. And if you're not planning on signing Pacheco and you are going to have Brashard Smith and you want to see his role grow his role. Like why not at this point? We're not going to lose a game because we gave Brashard Smith 5 too many carries. It's not going to happen at this point. Our offense looked about what I thought it would look overall. I was expecting a game plan just to try to keep us in the game. Odokin made a few splash plays, yet a few throws that I was like, didn't try to do too much out there. Didn't make any mistakes. So he did a good job as a game manager is what he did.
Yeah.
I was happy with that. Just at least get our offense out there enough to get into the rhythm and not get our defense exhausted, because then they would have just fell apart and Broncos would have killed us.
Yeah, I mean, he did have some splash plays, and it wasn't until the end of the game where that final drive we kind of needed to open up a little bit, and they kind of let him rock a little bit. Yeah, and I also thought that they were kind of maybe going to utilize his legs a little bit more. Not a lot of design runs for him, but again, only 4 days to kind of get right. But I think that is one advantage. Like I saw one of your tweets, JD, when you have an athletic quarterback who's mobile like that, it's extremely hard to game plan for that, extremely hard to scheme for that. Yeah. And I thought that was something that I thought we were going to utilize a little bit more, the fact that he can run. And I didn't see like design rollouts, design runs for him, which would have been nice to see a little bit of that. Not the whole game play being about that, but at least somewhat of that.
No, but they knew he extend plays with his legs, and he did a little bit of that. And one, he should have put away instead of take the sack.
Yeah,
he could do it over to the front row of the stands. Mm-hmm. Fine. So, but other than that, I think he did, like you said, he's a game manager. He managed the game. It might have been different if he had an entire week, maybe. But like I said, everyone throw everything to him. Pat's talking to him like, "Hey, man, this is what you're looking for." And so we just know that there were certain throws, Tennessee game, this game, some of the timing was off. Like I said before, that one to Hollywood in the end zone is a touchdown. If he's catching him, once he come out that break, it's 6. It's 6. He just laid on the ball. So, but that's what you get when you are going with the first reps. The guys a lot better than what you just coming in for a few days to do. So.
Yeah, and like you said, only 4 days. It wasn't a full normal week for the guys. Short turnaround. And lastly, Xavier Worthy got a lot of flack for his catch that was out of bounds in the first, I think it was the first quarter, second quarter. Caught a ball, and it's like the right foot was out of bounds when he caught it. So it was like an out of bounds, and he would have had like 15, 20 yards in that play. But a lot of people online just made the comments. Just it seems like he still has on-field awareness is still not all the way there. I saw some people post clips of his one of the balls. I think it was the Texans game last year where he caught the ball and he was like trying to toe tap and he was like 3 yards out of bounds from last year, and just pretty much saying that 2 years in a row he still doesn't know the dimensions of the NFL football field. Are you worried about his spatial awareness and the field awareness, or is that just something that's learned over time? Maybe it becomes second nature to a player. I mean, I don't.
The field is 53 and a third. That's what the dimensions are. So that's what it's going to be, sideline to sideline, and he knows it very well. He's played football enough to know. He look. I think kind of tonight, the Joker got long legs, man. He's legs. He's all legs, and so sometimes
Smaller torso.
Yeah. So that big old legs just sticks out there a little bit more than what he expected. But Todd Telfrey did say, I don't know. He didn't look like he had enough juice tonight either. Just wasn't quite as there like it should have been. So I'm not sure. But it looks different when you have Hollywood Brown, Juju, older guys that understand your role. You understand what you got to do, right? So.
Well, no Juju, no Hollywood. Tycon's a free agent. Worthy doesn't know where he is in the field. And Rice has had like 5 drops the past 2 weeks. I can make a case for receiver being a primary. Yeah.
Wow. Now this is okay.
And I'm talking not a guy who does slants well, not a guy who does comebacks well, not a guy who does streaking, not a guy who's a gadget guy, not a deep threat. I mean a stud receiver who can do it all is what I mean.
We got it tight, man. We got it tight. I mean, what do you say? I mean, yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great. But with this offense, we don't throw no back shoulder throws. We don't really throw a lot of timing routes. We are looking for the scramble drill for guys to kind of get open. It's that's the type of guy you're looking for.
Maybe that's pre-injury Mahomes.
Yeah.
Maybe scramble drill's got to be a different kind of drill.
For the life of me, we had Tyreek Hill here, and Pat was throwing the ball up to Tyreek. He was just throwing the ball up. And Tyreek was so fast, he could run around the field and just make a play. He could just do it. So unlike he was throwing to Devontae Adams and guys and what, you know what I mean? So I'm in my mind, I started thinking, like, what are people looking at? Like, honestly. Because there were some times that Pat just let that ball go, trusting that Tyreek was just going to outrun everybody. He's just going to make a play because he just had unbelievable control of his body and things he could do. He just going to out-athletic people. I used to laugh because my kids thought I was crazy. And it's like, you would watch Tyreek just play with people out there on the field. He would just play with guys. The whole secondary, he just play with them. And I couldn't help but laugh because I'm just like, these dudes don't even stand a chance.
I know.
Trying to tackle him in his heyday here. It was incredible. He was incredible. I was like, shoot, that's why we so good. That sucker right there can make anybody miss in a phone booth. And what was that saying? Tyreek's down there somewhere. That was it. That was the throw. Tyreek's gonna be down there somewhere. He's gonna go make a play.
So, homework assignment, JD. Watch film on Caleb Downs and watch film on Carnell Tate.
Downs and Tate, okay. Downs and Tate. Who was the safety?
Downs.
Oh, Downs. That's Downs. Okay, Ohio State, right?
They're both Ohio State. Go
Okay.
figure.
Well,
And Cassius Winston's the
How?
Cassius Howell. Sorry, Cassius Winston's the point guard for Michigan State a couple years ago. Cassius Howell, the DN from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
all right.
But think about Caleb Downs, which is why you watch his tape, he stands out. But started right away as a freshman in Alabama. Ended up transferring to Ohio State right when Saban retired from Alabama suddenly, because you ended up going to Ohio State right after that. But Saban said that was one of the most athletic and most knowledgeable players he ever coached.
Who was this?
Saban said it about Caleb Downs when he coached
really?
his freshman year. Said one of the most knowledgeable and just overall football IQs off the charts. And he started as a freshman at Alabama.
He's been watching film since he was like 10 years old.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing. In 9 years old, he started watching film to get better and on his game plan, his opponents and whatnot.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited now. I'm excited to see this guy.
Oh man, it's a treat.
Yeah, I haven't watched too much of Ohio State. Anyway, I'm not a big college guy. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So obviously, lots of time to dive into this college state. But I'm curious what your thoughts are, Caleb Downs, to hearing what a former player sees when they see this guy. But all right, guys. Well, we hope everybody enjoyed Christmas. We hope everybody enjoyed our show tonight. We love you all. And JD and I will be back on Monday. So we have what's 4 or 5 days, or no, 3 days. We're already on Friday. So yeah, 3 days so you guys see us again. But yeah, JD and I will be back to review what we saw in tonight's game. And yeah, we hope everyone enjoys your holiday weekend with the family. We love you all. JD, send us away, brother.
I'll tell you what, how about we do this? Okay, I know we haven't done before. How about these for 10 minutes? How about we open up the airwaves? Okay? Because, a lot of people come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the airwaves. We're going to send out the link. Okay? We want somebody to come in, give you 2 minutes, a good run of what you want to say. How about that? If y'all brave enough to say it, you got 2 minutes each person. So don't be shy. Come on in, say what's up to us, okay? First 5 guys to come in, come say your piece. We'd love to hear you, see what you got to say. All right? So
Del Monte's already in.
yes, sir.
Del Monte, you there, buddy?
Yes, sir. Can y'all hear me clear?
We can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Can you hear me clear?
Clearly, brother. Hear you clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's up, man? You got 2 minutes to say, tell us what you think about tonight.
I got both of them open. Oh, shoot. All right, I had both of them open.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had the YouTube and both of them clashing.
I got you.
So my bad.
All
right. I'm already seeing the next 2 seasons so far.
Mm-hmm.
Need to get somebody on the edges for the offensive line. Need to get somebody stacked up on the right tackle and left tackle. Then you need to start getting somebody ready that's behind the top 3, guard, center. You need to get some of that depth going because our depth is bad on the O-line. Then you need somebody for Chris in the middle. Chris needs some help. Chris needs help. So he can do what he do on the edge, and then somebody can hold down that middle and for stopping the run, because it seems like when they tackle, they're waiting for the run to come to them instead of attacking the run. They're not attacking the run. They're waiting for the tackle to come to them. They just waiting. Some of the corners, I see them, they're just waiting to see that they can move in to tackle, but it's by the line of scrimmage. And by the time their momentum is going, they already got 3, 4, or 5 yards. I saw a lot of that all season. And they're not getting them down on the ground.
And
another thing,
and there was some missed tackles tonight for sure. There was a lot of missed tackles tonight.
They
guys got extra yards where they didn't need to. They extended the play.
Yeah, they not standing anybody up, and they not attacking the tackle. They not going into the tackle. They just waiting until the running back or the receiver come to them, especially behind the line of scrimmage. They keep doing that. And then I'm kind of intrigued about what Hicks Hicks is potential because these other few seasons you've seen certain things on what he can do. Got a good sized body, but I don't think he would be good on the outside. But I would want to see him around behind the D line as like almost like a
Box safety.
linebacker. Yeah, box safety type. He can be linebacker or he can be in the slot when he needs to be. And then there's another slot corner / safety because it seemed like Coach Spags, he uses players that have more jobs than one and what they specialize. You see what they do first. When it comes to Jalen Royals and Smith, I think that they're going through the same thing that they put Tyreek through because we didn't see Tyreek like that all the time. They always have him doing this thing behind the line before they start letting them go downfield. So that's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, do need to start running the ball more because we haven't seen Patrick with a good solid run game like when JD was playing. We haven't seen that. That's tradition for us to be able to run that ball. Got to be able to run that ball. We haven't seen that so that Pat can have 13 throws but make 300 yards in a game, something like that. 13 throws, and then he can throw 250, probably 2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown. Just even kill his things so where he don't have to keep running out the pocket and all that. He need to get the ball and go shoot it, but not all this short stuff because that's starting to become way too anticipated now. All this really quick throw stuff. So this going to eventually need to start going downfield within the numbers of the hashes. Don't have to start attacking certain spots of the field.
Yeah,
that's route. What I see. Yeah, seeing routes and things maybe to like the edges more so all over the field, downfield. And Rashard Smith, I want to see him be able to run and go downfield and catch. That's what I get out your hair after that.
Yeah. Appreciate it, brother, man. Listen, hey, Merry Christmas to you. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All great stuff.
Did y'all cook?
Yeah. We had a nice little Christmas breakfast, brunch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jake, Marcus and Teja didn't say nothing. They just sit there looking like y'all don't cook.
We went to our parents' place.
Huh?
We went to our parents' place.
What, man? Y'all gotta cook something too, man. Come on, dog. Y'all gotta cook, man. You gotta start cooking something, dude.
No. They don't want us. My mom doesn't want us in the kitchen when she's doing her thing.
That's your own house. You gotta do something.
She wants us out. She just wants us in there. She wants us out of the way.
You know, look, if mom's a good cook, yeah, she wants you out the kitchen.
But I'm talking about your own house.
Football and stuff. Oh yeah, no, they went over to
the parents' place.
Yeah,
y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go back in that kitchen and see what your mama and them doing so y'all can carry it over later on.
No, that is true.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your cooking going on. Then I might be a little bit graphic, but it dropped panties though. It dropped some panties.
Man.
All right, my brother. Listen, hey, man, we'll holler at you, man. Merry Christmas, my brother. All right, we'll see you.
Hey, buddy.
All right. That's funny. Right.
Our mom's like my home's in that kitchen, man. Okay, we're all a doking. We're not getting playing time unless it's a blowout. So we let her back there to do her thing like a magician.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Who else we got on tonight? Anybody else coming on through? You know, come on in real quick. Damani Green Bees make some very good points. Very good points. I think it's everything that people do see. So hope we address it. Man. This off season's coming here soon. It will be here soon. So
fast approaching. Wow.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty much already in it. Already. But yeah.
Yep.
All right, y'all. We'll give y'all another minute. Y'all go on brave the Rapids. Come on in. Okay? Christmas time. I know some of y'all done had some eggnog. Y'all ready to talk. Okay?
And people got the food comas, JD. People are knocking out.
I get it.
I got you.
All right.
Well, listen, with that being said, we have nobody come in with these next 30 seconds. I'll just say, hold on. Thanks for giving me something to listen to as I drove home. Tony Brown, my guy, our guy. I'm the brand. I hear you, bro. Definitely. So, we always gonna have some good stuff for you.
Always.
Chill guy said, I got the yips. Yes, sir. All right. Well, listen, let that being said, you all, Merry Christmas. Okay. Hope everybody has a happy new year. We will see you all on Monday for sure to come grade this game. And I'm actually going to get into it, man. I want to see exactly what the routes look like and see how everybody did. I think online. Michael, okay, we got somebody.
We got one last one.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I thought the game tonight was going to be the other way. I mean, having all them backups in there, deep backups, and having a quarterback last week that was on the practice squad. I mean, and Denver's defense was supposed to be, they're so good, but they didn't play good Sunday either. And what you saying, JD, I was on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was part of trying to jinx the Broncos with some of my bad luck,
Yeah,
but I was really surprised.
Well, okay.
I was overjoyed, even though we lost. I was figuring it was going to be 30-0 by halftime.
Yeah. So, Mike, what do you think about their performance? Real quick, what do you think? Like the good spots you've seen was like, okay, like this is
the cornerbacks, the way they played. I know Fulton, hasn't been out there, but still, I figured that Surtain was just going to eat him alive. I was looking for him to get 150, 200 yards in receiving.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think Bo Nix is all of what they say he is. He's decent, but even their team, I mean, Jacksonville just ran them over, Sunday. I watched the whole game, and they just flat out outplayed them.
Really? See, I didn't see the game, so I should have went back and watched the game a little bit just to see. So,
they beat them better than they did us. I mean, they had the game most of the way. They just flat out outplayed the Denver team.
Yeah.
On all three phases.
Well, that's why. Do you believe that the Denvers are they for real? Do you think they'll be Super Bowl?
I don't think they are.
Okay. They got a lot to go in AFC, man. There's a lot of
their defense. This whole year, like you guys been saying, has been there's so much parity in the league. I haven't seen. I mean, I don't know as much as you do, JD, about football. I just know, watching and stuff. But
you know what you see, brother.
There hasn't been no team that's actually went out there. And like a few years ago, you had Detroit and the Rams. They were going out there beating people 35-10 or 40 something or 50 burger, or more. And you're just not seeing it this year.
Yeah.
It's all close.
Yeah, it is. The league, without a doubt, is more balanced than it has been in a long time. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, think about the NFC North. Who would have thought? I would have never thought Chicago would have been right up there with everybody else with Detroit and Green Bay. And geez, Caleb Williams, really? I was like,
yeah.
So
yeah, because my wife is a Green Bay Packer fan, so I watch a lot of their games, and they haven't. Of course, Jordan Love got put out in the last game with concussion, but they're pretty much like our team. Their backup, he's all right. I mean, he's not too bad, but they're the same way.
Yeah,
they had Chicago. They was outplaying them until the end.
Yeah,
and of course, as you know, JD, that's the most important part of the game. If you can keep it close, it's the end. Whoever makes that mistake or falters, that's when you pay for it.
I had a coach who had that philosophy, and I always hated that. It was Herm. Herm Edwards always said, whoever had the ball in the hand at the end should win the game. And I'm just like, no. Why don't we just blow them out? You know, at the very beginning and make it easy for them. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, some of them heart beaters we had last year, that's what I call them, was heart stoppers.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, but Denver's been on the receiving end. What did they say? 11 games? Is that what they are right now? The streak?
I think so.
Yeah. Broncos have trailed at some point in 12 of their 13 wins this year.
Yeah.
Sounds like us from last year.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think they even led in that game last week. I mean, Jacksonville jumped on them, and I mean, they just, like you said about Peter Bailey, you know, and getting flattened. They did that the whole game to him. I mean, from start to end.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't know about Beetle Bailey. I was like, there's a Beetle Bailey. I'm like, man, you got to show that picture.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
yeah, where he gets that, where the sergeant always gets him flattened out.
always. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man, and you know, giving us your synopsis of everything that looked for tonight, man. Wonderful job. Appreciate you so much, man. Seriously,
appreciate you, Michael.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry
brother.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, we had family over, and I have 5 grandkids, and now I got 2 great grandkids and a 3rd one on the way next year. So,
wow!
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Wonderful stuff right there. Good deal.
Yes.
All right, my guy. Well, look, man, we'll see you. Okay, we'll see you on the show, man. We're gonna try to keep doing some of this segment, man. I like this, talking to the fans as opposed to me just talking to people. I want to hear what you have to say. Okay, I talk enough. I know. So
that's all right. I like hearing your stories.
I appreciate it. I have tons of them. I don't know if I can tell all of them, but I'll tell you what I can.
Those are the ones we want. Those are the ones we want.
Yeah,
that's right. They were the good ones.
All right, Michael. Well, again, Michael, thank you for always being always a constant contributor and always engaging with the channel and the show, man. We really appreciate that, man. We hope you have that.
I really appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it, man. Merry Christmas
to you. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Yep. Hey, buddy. That was good. It was fun. Good to see Michael. He's always commenting, always chatting. I would never seen him. This is the first time on this portion of the show. So it's good to see Mike.
That's why I want to see people's faces, man. I want to, the comment section is one thing. I want to see your face. I want to see how you're doing. But I like Michael said, man. Shoot, everybody's out here are avid fans, and you see pretty much the same things that we do. And sometimes, man, you gotta call it for what it is. You gotta call it for what it is. But like I said, from this showing tonight, I am a little bit more hopeful for the offseason, what it's going to look like. But there is, without a doubt, some positions I'm saying we had to go for sure. So yeah. But I want to tell you fellas, man, how much I appreciate and love you guys. Tell your folks, man, I said Merry Christmas.
Will do, man.
Thanks, man.
Y'all take care, man. God bless. And everybody out here, Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays. We will see you all on Monday. Y'all be safe, okay?
All right.
Nothing crazy. Y'all take care of yourselves. Love each other the way you're supposed to love each other, right? So
that's it, baby.
Merry Christmas. Love you all.
Love you, buddy. Love you all.
All right.
Good night, everybody. And to all, a good night.
Oh, a good night.
See everybody.
Later.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.